Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast with my feisty sidekick, Irene. Uh, Guess what, guys? Today we are still on the West Coast. Yesterday we were in Arizona, and today we are in Nevada, which is not too far away from Arizona. And tomorrow I would have been back in Arizona, but to unforeseen circumstances, that podcast has been canceled. So, but with that being said, man, I have Las Vegas Soul Searchers on the show tonight. Introduce yourself, my brother.
My name is Mike Zervos, and I'm with the Las Vegas Soul Searchers. We're just a group of three individuals. Uh, we do all over the place. We've been doing some house calls lately, and do a lot of stuff in Vegas. We do some stuff in California and Utah right now, and up north in Nevada, like the Washoe Club, Virginia City, and Reno.
Cool. All right, man. Yeah, if you watch the show, you already know what it's about. Just sit back and relax and let's enjoy each other's company. And while me ask a million and one questions, when I mention Nevada, when you mention Las Vegas, man, there's one thing that comes to mind, and it's not the casinos, it's not everything else that comes with Sin City. It's what went down in a certain suburb 2 years ago. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I got to refresh my memory.
Okay. Now this, you know, I'm not a ufologist, but I do keep up on weird events, current events, something such as that. I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, a family called the police stating that there's aliens in their backyard.
I haven't heard that.
You have not heard that?
No.
Oh my God, dude, that was a story, man. It wasn't just in Vegas, it went viral.
I've been here for 6 years, and this is the first I'm hearing that.
Yeah, it went viral, dude. The cops came, shut the whole city block down. The Men in Black was there. The U.S. government was there. It was a lot going on.
Well, I'm gonna have to research that because I live here, and honestly, I have never heard that.
Yeah, the family uh, that was a part of this, dude, they were petrified because they've never seen anything that looked like that before. And they're, what the hell? And allegedly, something fell out of the sky and it landed not in their backyard, but I think it was like a field back there. It crashed in the field, and somehow, some way, it managed to survive the crash, and it was able to go from one backyard to another trying to get away. And we all know, man, that's not too far from Rachel. Area
Yeah,
51 is not too far from there.
yeah, no, we're. I went out to Rachel on my bike a couple months ago. We're probably took me probably close to 3 hours to get there from here.
Yeah, man, that was crazy, and how quick viral that
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 amazes
thing
me.
went.
That amazes me. I haven't heard about that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
dude.
I don't know where I've been.
The government did their best to cover it up. I think they paid the residents a certain amount of money for hush hush, And what the hell is the MIB doing there?
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna have to do some research on that because honestly, this is the first time hearing of it.
Whenever you got the MIB, whenever you got a state agency, and when you got federal, and you got the federal agencies all in one area, it's nothing good to that. It has to be no good when you got those three federal agencies in your backyard. Something's going on
No, I
because
agree.
They're not going to show up just to be showing up. Oh, there's a phone. Hey, man, there's a couple aliens in my backyard. And the first people, and I'm going to tell you just how credible it was because they called the local police first. And when the local police got involved in it, then everything just trickled down. So I think I think the federal government keeps tabs on what's going on, on the local hotline. Because how else would they show up just out of the blue?
Yeah, I don't know unless something that came out of one of their bases or something that hit the ground to tests or something. I don't know.
Nah, man,
they might have been monitoring it or something.
Apparently this thing was like 10 foot tall, skinny, had long arms. Didn't look like any human that I know of.
Did it say what neighborhood it was in?
No, it didn't. It didn't. They kept that confidential.
As usual.
Now you got me curious.
Hi, Kimmy.
Hi, Kimmy. Yeah, so dude, I'm really surprised you have not heard of that.
No, I haven't, honestly.
But there is one thing I do notice about Las Vegas, and you might can agree with me, it is so fast. If people want to see something, they probably think it's just everyday life.
Oh yeah, everything around here is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So how can you see what's real and what's not if everything in that city is already nuts?
Well, it depends on where you live. I mean, it's relatively quieter up here where I'm at. I'm up in the Northwest area, so it's just like living in any other city, except we got the grocery stores have slot machines, 7-Elevens have slot machines, gas stations have slot machines. But besides that, up where I live, it's like any other city. You wouldn't even know you're like the Strip's right there, and if you didn't even think about it.
Wow. I'm going to ask you some questions, and just feel free to, tell me what you think about it. And we're just going to go from there. What do you think about Las Vegas, man, as a city?
I mean, I'm in a good area, so I'm only going to judge it by my area. And honestly, the only time I go down to the Strip or something is if I'm going to go to a concert or a show. It's just not a place I want to hang around. I'm not a big crowd fan. Yeah. So like Fremont Street's okay. If I want to go down there, I'll go down there early on a weekday where it's not so busy and there's not a lot of people. But I mean, as far as where I came from, as far as the cost of living and everything, I like it better here as far as taxes and the house.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can imagine. Y'all, do y'all pay state tax over there?
No state income tax.
Oh, that's good. That is really good. That's probably why the Raiders moved there.
And I think the property tax is like within the top 5 lowest in the whole country.
Wow, you know what? Considering I would think Vegas would be the total opposite. I think everything would be so expensive there that only the top 1, maybe 2% would even live there.
Yeah, but when people think Vegas, they think the touristy spot. And I mean, Clark County is so big and Las Vegas is so big that you go get away 5-10 minutes from the Strip and you don't even realize you're in Las Vegas.
Interesting. How are the people there? Are they moderate, conservative, liberal?
I think we have a mix of everything. I think just like any other state, like, the populated areas tend to go a little bit blue and the rural areas tend to go red. And I think we got the same thing here, like the Clark County area and the Reno area I think it's a little bit more blue than red. And then you got a whole big state with a lot of towns that don't have a lot of populations that tend to go red.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, our governor, we did elect a Republican governor here last election.
What the hell y'all do that for?
I don't know. But our senators are still Democrat.
So
So
it's
it,
so,
it's kind of like a purplish state, I guess.
yeah. What's up, Nancy? How you doing?
Nancy.
All right. So with all the chaos and the madness that's going on in Vegas, do people how do people reach out to you when they have strange phenomenon? Because like you say, everything's in Vegas is strange.
Hmm.
Oh, I mean, it's like most of it's through friends and stuff. Like, like when we go do somebody's home, like my son called me up last weekend, says, "Hey, we got some weird stuff going on in my house." My grandson, he's almost 2 years old. They say when he's up in his room, he stares off into space, waving and saying hi and bye to something that's not even there and stuff. And they hear noises. And my son said he saw something like a shadow figure in his house. Yeah, so we went and did an investigation, and we got some pretty decent evidence up there that there's something going on in his house. And it doesn't feel like it's aggressive or evil or anything. I think it's a family member of maybe my daughter-in-law.
Mm.
So, I mean, we got some EVPs. I used the paralantern and a tripwire, and I had like three paralanterns in this room and a tripwire going right outside the door in the hallway, and another paralantern. And there was a few times where everything went off at one time. So
Mm.
they weren't even close together. They're kind of spread apart, but they'd all go off together.
Mm.
I got
Oh
some
wow.
spirit box stuff I'm still going through. Got some responses on that. So I mean, then Kelly's friend said she had something going on in her house, and we went and did her house. And so it's word of mouth. If like that's why we go with our friends because they can say, "Hey, call these guys." So right now, it seems like the house calls have been pretty productive for us right now because a lot of things in Vegas cost money and it's hard to get into.
Hmm.
So, we try to do stuff that's would help people. Like
Yeah.
Kelly last night, I couldn't go because I had other obligations. She went and then did an investigation out at the abandoned casino on Prim, Whiskey Pete's.
Hmm.
She's still going through her evidence. Uh, so we got some stuff planned next month. This month I'm kind of booked because next weekend I'm going down to Hollywood for I was actually had a small role in an indie movie, and I'm going down to Hollywood for the premiere of that movie.
Oh, okay. That sounds really cool. That sounds really cool at all. So you guys are consistent on paranormal investigations out there.
Yeah, we sometimes we have to travel out of the area to find a decent investigation because it's definitely it's just because of the tourist industry and everything. It's hard to get into some of these areas. Like right now, we're trying to book a room at a hotel, and I'm not going to say any more with the location until after the investigation. We're trying to book a room where um, a husband killed his wife.
Oh wow.
They never found her body, but all the evidence in the room that shows that she was cut up and the body, she was actually dismembered in the room. So we've been
Mm.
trying to book the room and we can't book it online. So we have to go down there and request it. And if we can't get it that day, we got to leave and then go down another time and got to keep requesting it until like it's open or they can let us get in there. But
Is
this
that
was
a single dwelling house? Is that a single dwelling house?
which one?
The one that was body was all
No,
dismembered.
that's a hotel. It's a hotel casino. It was in one of the rooms at the casino where she was hacked up,
Wow,
dismembered.
that is crazy.
Yeah, so that
I
that's
see a yard. I see a yard where she's buried at, like different areas in the yard where she's buried at.
yeah, they never found her body.
But she's
That is
buried.
crazy.
She's buried. I know she is.
Oh,
She's probably buried.
I'm sure he buried her somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are more bodies buried out in the desert than there
Oh,
are people in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I mean, just look when the water level was really low at Lake Mead, all those bodies that were found out there in drums and stuff, you know?
Yeah, and drums.
Yeah.
Who would ever thought of that?
Well, the mob.
The
Yeah.
mob.
Well, you know, yeah, because that was the mobster's paradise, right?
It was.
Back then, right? So
Yeah.
if you didn't comply, you'd be in a cement cement casing, or you'd be under the water someplace, right? Yeah.
If you did cheated the mob on any way, shape, or form, or did something to rat them
Have
out or
you
something, I'm sure you
right?
wound up
Have
in a
you
drum in Lake Mead or
yeah,
buried in the desert.
or
Yep.
something? Have you
Yeah.
ever investigated out there in the desert? Have anybody that owned land out there, had they ever called you guys out?
No, the only thing we've done in the desert is we've done a couple ghost towns that really aren't anything anymore, like Rayolite. Um, that's out by Beatty, a couple hours from here. And so nobody's ever called us out to their property to investigate anything.
Mm.
That'd be
Mm.
interesting.
Oh, I can imagine. I bet it would be.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, even Lake Mead, there's areas in Lake Mead that are supposedly pretty active right off the shore. So
Yeah.
we did go out there one time and we investigated what they call the Hoover Dam or Lake Mead or Boulder tunnels. And
Mm-hmm.
what it is, it's a series of tunnels in the side of the hill there that was used as a rail system to get supplies and people in and out when they were building the Hoover Dam.
Mm-hmm.
So all the rails are gone. It's just a walking path now. And tunnel number 3 up there had some crazy stuff going on. I mean, I actually felt really sick in there.
That's cool. I like that. I like
I
that.
can imagine. There was a lot of death in Hoover. I heard there's a lot of people buried in the cement at
Yeah,
that dam.
I've heard those stories too. But I can tell you that the tunnels up there, number 3 was really active. Number 2 had some stuff going on, but I was actually getting so affected up there, I started getting nauseous and stuff.
Mm.
Interesting.
That,
How do,
yeah,
go ahead, Irene.
that's a habit of when you feel something, or when somebody has died violently, or whatever. You'll get nauseous, and you'll get a headache first,
Yeah.
and then you feel like your stomach's up in your throat, right? Yeah.
And then my stomach just feels like like queasy and like,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really bad up there. And then the more I start getting into the paranormal, the more sensitive I am to energy.
Mm-hmm.
And also I just realized like a year ago, I
Mm-hmm.
started feeling more and more like emotional part of it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's been times I've had an investigation where I'm sitting there and I'm communicating with somebody I think I know who they are,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden I got to pull away from the situation to take some
Mm-hmm.
air, and I come back, and for no reason I just start crying. Out of the blue, I just start crying, and I don't know why I'm crying. I just crying. And then there's times where I'm not even doing a paranormal investigation, and I sit down in a room, like one of the rooms before the investigation where like one of the members are staying, and I
Mm-hmm.
just sad. Right after being happy and telling jokes, I sit down and all of a sudden I just start
You're
feeling
bawling.
sad for no reason.
Do you carry?
Wow.
Say it
Go ahead,
again.
Irene.
You carry to both. You should carry selenite and obsidian. You need a selenite and you need obsidian when you go in an investigation, because you might get hit and it might come with you afterwards.
I haven't had anything follow me home, but I did have, and I don't remember it, but the Jamestown Hotel in California, that was like that was like my second, maybe my second real major investigation,
Mm-hmm.
and the video's on my site, but I I don't remember it. I just know what's on the video. Apparently, I was possessed by something.
You've
And
got a Cynthia following you.
what's that?
A lady, you have a Cynthia who's following you. Her name is Cynthia. I found her immediately when you just came on.
Cynthia?
Mm-hmm. A lady. She's an older lady. She's
What?
really old.
You're giving me chills right now. I just
have
got
a habit of
chills
doing
through
that,
my,
right?
I just got chills through my body. The only Cynthias I know are still among the living, so I wouldn't know who that was.
I scare people.
I'm not scared. I just got, kind of like
Eh,
chills.
Yeah, don't worry. I have a habit of doing that, right?
Yeah, hopefully she's looking out for me.
Well, she kind of is.
Cynthia. I have
Mhm.
to try to
It's
figure
an
out.
older lady. It's a really older lady. She's behind you.
Right now? Is that why I'm getting chills, or am I getting chills because of what you're saying?
I think both.
Both.
Don't worry. I'm a spooky person.
No, that's okay.
You'll
It
get
takes,
used to you'll get used to it if you hang around me.
don't say that stuff to my partner Kelly, man. She she's my comic relief when we do investigations. Everything scares her.
Terry's used to it by now.
Uh-huh. What is your theory about the paranormal community? Why is so many people out here in the world are trying to find out information, knowing that we're never going to find out until it's our time to go?
I think it's curiosity of the unknown, and people want to believe that there's something after this life, and maybe this is their way of trying to ease their mind about dying. Um, as far as me, I when I grew up, I was a skeptic. I never really believed in ghosts. I never really believed in anything like this. Even even I spent. I mean, my son grew up watching uh, these ghost shows on TV,
Hmm.
and I'd sit there with him, and one show in particular, and their reactions on everything. I just think in my mind, I go, man, this is BS. I go, man, who reacts to stuff like that? This can't be real. But I never said it out loud because I didn't want to harsh my son's gig. He was all into that stuff. So I kind of kept it to myself. And then even when I was working, because I spent most of my adult life working in the federal prison or the sheriff's department, mainly in the jails.
Hmm.
And we'd be at work and somebody say, "Hey, I just had this happen to me in a unit and da da." And I mean, there's something crazy. And I just tell them, man, it's graveyard. You're tired. You're just seeing things. And they go, "You don't believe?" And I said, "No." So when I retired, a friend of mine, he was starting to get into the paranormal too. He was already doing it. So just out of curiosity, I wanted to find out for myself what was going on with it and why, like you asked me, why people were into it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And so my first investigation with him was at the Clown Motel in Tonopah. That was my first major investigation at all. And I had my first real experience there that I couldn't explain. And that
Hmm.
experience made me want to dive into it more and more and more and try to figure out what happened to me, why it happened to me. And like you said, we're never going to know. We're never going to find any answers. But I like it because I can't, I believe there is something, but I can't explain it. So it just keeps me driving for more and more and more, maybe hoping to explain it one day, knowing in the back of my mind I never will.
Hmm.
But hoping to is what keeps me going.
Hmm.
So, and, 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 I,
Interesting.
and I enjoy it too. I mean, it's a good hobby for me.
Hmm.
It's a very expensive hobby. It can be.
It can be. I mean, the equipment itself is expensive.
Yep. And so interesting because I know people do it for different reasons, and whatever reason that may be, I totally respect that. You know, I would never uh, disrespect anybody on their beliefs, on what they believe, and how they believe in it.
Hmm.
But it seems like to me, and this might be me. I might see it wrong, but I think believers more believers are actually coming out of the woodworks. This generation today, there are more paranormal believers than there were when it was, baby boomers, Gen X, or whatever that they call them after that, all the way up through the 2000s. Now, I don't know if it's just because science have changed a little bit during that time, but people are actually starting to believe.
Well, I think what triggered I mean, there's always been people out there that like study or got into the paranormal, but I think ever since, these TV shows, mainly like Ghost Adventures, came to fruition, that it
Mhm,
sparked a lot of people's curiosity. And
mhm,
I think that's where the big boom and interest into the paranormal came from, the shows like that. And, because you watch those shows and they're pretty interesting. And like I said, I never believed, but that's what drove me to want to find out for myself what it was all about.
mhm.
Now, since you watch those shows, how do you think those shows how do you think those shows help the average, everyday, low budget paranormal investigator? Do you
I
think
I
it helps them or do you think it hurts them?
I think it's a double-edged sword. I
Mhm,
think it I think it gets a lot of people going out and interested in doing it, and
mhm.
but I also think from watching the shows, these people that go out and do it, they want immediate gratification. And when you do this, it's not always you may do a whole investigation and not get a single piece of evidence.
Yeah,
It's
you're right.
it's
And you
it's
got
like
to sit there for hours and hours
yeah,
and hours, sometimes days and days, in order to just get one little smidgen
Okay,
of information. Yep.
okay,
yeah,
but that's you know what? I'd rather have those guys be truthful and honest with me.
Hmm.
Forget what you're trying to do. I'd rather have, if I am a major TV production company and I hired Las Vegas Soul Searchers as my paranormal team to be, I'm not going to tell you guys to put a bunch of salt and pepper on that shit. I want that shit raw and I want it uncut.
Hmm.
So I want these people to understand what they're dealing with
Yeah.
because at sometimes you don't always get what you need,
Nope.
nope,
but yet I don't want to be able to stay somewhere with a 10-day grace period in order to, you know, try to solve an investigation. No. If it's no paranormal activity there, hey, there's nothing going on here. We're moving on to the next case. That's the way it should be. Not having me bogged up in locations for 10 days.
yeah. I mean, it's just that's a personal choice.
Hmm.
Um, with me, I tell people investigating is like fishing. You
Yeah.
can sit there all day and not get one nibble, or you
Hmm.
can sit there for 5 minutes and reel in six fish. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's kind of like ghost hunting. But these shows make it seem like anytime you go anywhere, there's always stuff going on.
Which is not
Exactly.
true. That, yeah.
Yeah,
Unless you feel the energy, unless your energy is in check, and you understand what you're gonna go through. But sometimes the energy is so violent or so huge that you don't you don't want anybody to see what's happening, right? So you get both ways, right?
yeah. I mean, just like the Jamestown, that
Yeah.
hotel, I'll never go back in there.
Yeah.
I went back. I went no, I went back a second time, and it affected me again the second time. Not like it did the first time because I wouldn't let it. The
Mm-hmm.
first time I was relatively new, and I guess I didn't put my guard up and I didn't listen to my instincts or whatever was telling me not to go in this area. Because
Mm-hmm.
I knew something was trying to tell me not to do it. But
Mm-hmm.
I was new and I didn't understand what I was feeling. And I went back and it bit me right in the rear end. And
Oh.
and then when I went back the second time 3 years later,
Mm-hmm.
I had the same not good energy starting to affect me.
Wow.
And I went back down into the basement because I was asked to,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to leave. I walked out of the building and would not go back in there. And people
Mm-hmm.
could go there and not have anything happen to me, but when I go in there, there's something there that affects me really negatively.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
I can't go back in there, and I won't go back in there. I refuse to go back in there.
Yeah.
And that's the only place I've ever investigated that I refuse to go back into.
I remember I did it my very first time doing this. I was helping a friend who was a who is a paranormal investigator. He lives in Las Vegas too, and he did a motel, and a guy who was a family member on this girl's birthday kidnapped her, murdered her. Well, no, not murdered her. Actually, she died because she got a fever, really bad fever, and she died. And the guy who kidnapped her was a family member, and he offed himself off, and her spirit was in a motel. I remember that one. I don't know which motel it was in Las Vegas, but it was really sad. So I had to cross her over because I felt so sad for her. Why was she hanging around there? And she had a blue frilly dress on and pigtails. It was so sad watching her that I had to help her, and I did help her. And I that was one of my memorable investigations that I did. It was something else because he felt sad about what he did, but eventually he understood what he did, and that's why I helped her. But I didn't help him. I wasn't around to help him. No.
Uh, you left him in purgatory, yeah.
Yep, yep, yep. Because he deserved it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, you left somebody so I can try to talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, now there's three of you guys, right?
Yeah.
Tell me,
Myself, Kelly Lee, and Jeff Frey.
tell me a little bit about your comrades.
Well, Kelly's got a very interesting story within herself because she was her husband back in the time was he worked for a lot of the major music acts,
Okay.
and he was back east with a group. He's like what they call a roadie. He did the
He,
equipment,
he
sound,
did
and
all the dirty work.
yeah, he did all the dirty work. Well, she was in California and she was pregnant, and so she was getting ready to give birth, and her husband's back in Massachusetts, and so they gave him 2 weeks off to fly to California to be with her during the childbirth.
Hmm.
He was on the first plane to hit the World Trade Center.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So she already had one young daughter, and he never even got to meet his second daughter. So a lot of the music acts stepped up and helped her. A lot of them came to her aid and stuff. So she's got a pretty interesting story. She's from Pennsylvania. Her mom's still back there. Her her daughter and her granddaughter's back there. She has one daughter here. So she's been in Vegas for a while. She's married. And then my partner, my other Jeff, he did a paranormal with a lot of different people. And I met him when I worked at the haunted museum here in Las Vegas. And then so we started our own group. And so I originally started out as Z Dog Paranormal because my last name's Zervos, and Z Dog is when I rode with the Legion Riders, Z Dog was my riding name. So
Hmm.
called it Z Dog Paranormal. And then Jeff introduced me to one of the his friends who's prominent in the paranormal world, and her name is Janice Oberding. She's the one that actually kind of helped Zach get his start, and she was really good friends. I don't know if you know who Debbie and Mark Constantino are, but she was really good friends with them. And so we went up to Reno, and she invited us to come to her house, and we sat and talked for a while. And she suggested a name change for us. And so she goes, the Las Vegas sign's not copyrighted, and you can use it all you want. So she goes, do something with that. So we all came back to Vegas, and we sat around, and we came up with a list of names. And so, we did our research, and then so a lot of them were being used. And so we came up with Las Vegas Soul Searchers,
Mm-hmm.
and we did a lot of research on it. We couldn't find any other group using this name or everything. So we go, that's our name, Las Vegas Soul Searchers. So that's how we came up with that. Ran it by Janice. She liked it, so we stuck with it.
Okay. Are there any other paranormal teams in Vegas that you are aware of?
Oh yeah, there's lots of them. I got a friend of mine. Her group is called Vegas Paranormal. So, and then there's a lot of them here. I can't name them all, but there's a lot here. A lot of
Mm.
small groups like us. And then, there's like, I have friends who are into the paranormal that just don't have a group. That's their hobby. So
Okay.
yeah. So
There's nothing wrong with that. What are your future plans as a paranormal investigator? What is your ultimate goal?
I don't know if we have a long-term goal. We just plan investigations and we go out and do them. Are we trying to become famous? No, we just do it because we like doing it. So we don't have any long-term goals. We just do what we do, and then we post. We don't do production videos or anything. I just post when we do an investigation. I just post the evidence. So I put it out there. I tell them what I think it is, and I let everybody decide for themselves what they think it is. I'm not into production videos. I do, add some like words to it sometimes, or I'll put my 2 cents in it. But I don't do like, like production where they're like the investigation with all this. I just put out the evidence.
Editing. You don't edit anything. You just put it out there, and that's it.
Well, I do cut it down where like when I get an EVP,
Mhm.
I'll just post it, and
Mhm.
I'll play it a few times, and I'll
Mhm.
tell them what I think it says, and I'm always open to all kinds. I'm open to everybody else's opinion, constructive criticism. That's what it's all about. Let me know
Mhm.
what you think, and
Mhm.
I just don't like the negativity that people put out there.
Yeah.
If you got nothing productive to say about it, or
Don't say
you know,
it. Don't
don't
say
say
it.
it at all. I don't want to
Yeah.
hear it. If you got something like, hey, I just think that this orb you got was maybe a bug. Okay, I'm good with that. That makes me want to look at it more and stuff. But there's so many people out there with a lot to add to me that will make me a better investigator.
But
the
in sterile room, you won't find
grow.
any bugs, or bugs move differently than orbs. So
Orbs, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's two different concepts of it. You may think it's a bug, but bugs don't move that way. And sometimes when you look at an orb, when you really blow it up, you could see that it's not a bug, right? You
No,
could tell.
it's transparent. Yeah,
Yeah, you could tell. And
yeah.
sometimes they do have eyeballs, and sometimes you do have a mouth with them when they're real orbs, and they don't have an exoskeleton like a bug.
Well, I got one. I guess it's been a couple months ago at one of Kelly's friends' house. She said she's been getting every once in a while she'd wake up in the middle of the night feeling like something touched her. And
Hmm.
so I had my camera set up in her room, and we were out in the hallway because where all our equipment was.
Hmm.
And I don't know, you know what the Parabell is, right? So I had the
Mhm.
Parabell on the gal's nightstand, and we were in the other room. And then when I played the video back that I had recording,
Hmm.
um, this orb came out of nowhere. It just like flutters down, like
Hmm.
right in front of the camera. Then it shoots across the bed, and you
Mhm.
hear the bell. You hear it tap the bell and shoot off into the bathroom. So
Oh
Mm.
wow.
you can follow it like toward the nightstand where the bell is, and you hear it not like a ding, just like a,
Ding.
it wasn't like, it was like, how it's slightly tapped, it goes clink.
Mm.
You hear the bell
Yep.
go clink, and then you can
Clink.
see the faint orb shooting off into the bathroom. So I don't know how you dispute that. You know what I mean? You
So
can sit there and watch it.
yeah,
So
most spirits usually wound up in the bedroom or in the bathroom. The water is in the bedroom where people sleep. So they're usually found in the bedroom or in the bathroom.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
know why that's weird. I've never understood that.
well,
Because
like
bathroom is where water is. Because the
wa-
water creates energy, right?
running water is energy. Yep.
Because in the bedroom where people sleep, they spend most of their time sleeping in the bedroom, so they'll be in the bedroom up above, or in the closet or someplace where it's inconspicuously the last place you'll ever find it. That's where they usually spend their time in.
Yeah. And like when we were at my son's house, all the energy and everything we captured was in this one kid's room. That's where
Hmm.
the thing was, where my 2-year-old grandson slept. And that's where
Uh,
all the, and
they
like I
usually
said,
like children. They usually like children because children can see more than adults can. They're in our country. What it means is they're clean. They
yeah.
don't have all this adult garbage on. Well, you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
No, I know what you mean.
Their souls
We're
are clean. Okay,
yeah.
their souls are clean. So they could see a lot more, and they're a little bit more open than we are, right?
Yep. And like I said, they said he's been responding to like bye bye, hi, and there's nothing there. And that's why we did the investigation. And like I said, we had some, my son felt really sad sitting in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
And when he started feeling really sad, even before he said anything, my main thing where I feel the energy,
Mm-hmm.
I always start feeling the tingling in my jaws. That's
Mm-hmm.
where it hits me. And then it starts going down through my jaws, down my neck, and into my arms. And I know when I start feeling this, I
Mm-hmm.
know there's something there. That's how I know there's something there. And and the more I do this, the more sensitive I become
Mm-hmm.
all this. So
And the more open you should get,
yeah, the more open.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
People say when you open up, it's scary, but no, you'll understand it better, and it's less scary, right? It's less frightening when you open up, and you'll understand it more, and it won't bother you as much when you open up than when you're not.
Oh no, yeah. I like I said, after that Jamestown incident,
Hmm.
I kind of I really opened myself up there. I mean, beyond my limitations because I was new
Hmm.
and I didn't understand. Now I know if I feel like you shouldn't be doing this, I know enough to pull back a little bit now.
Hmm. Hmm.
And, okay, something's telling me not to do this. I may try to find out what's doing this, but I won't defy what's telling me to do this. Does
The
that make
Las
sense?
Vegas cemetery is really active.
Yeah, the old one.
Because I remember when my friend did the investigation, I got something follow me, and I said, "Okay, you got to get rid of that one." Yeah.
That's the old one downtown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my son and I, a couple years ago, we went down there at night to go do an investigation there.
Hmm.
But all down the road was just a giant homeless encampment. I mean,
Wow.
there was like people lying on both sides of the road with tents. And I go, I'm not getting out here at night to do anything.
No.
I'm not gonna deal. I'd rather deal with the spirits in the cemetery, but I'm not gonna try to deal with what may happen out here.
Yeah.
The knucklehead. Hey, did you ever hear about the guy? I'm trying to think of his name, but this guy went to where Tupac got murdered,
Yeah, the
and actually,
intersection there.
yeah, and actually did an EVP session there. And I don't know how true what he captured was that really true or not.
Well, my problem with that is it's on a city street. It's a huge intersection. You've got people and traffic everywhere. So how do you get a Class A EVP there when you got all this pollution
Interruptions,
around
right?
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's not a sterile environment. It's not a environment where you can control. It's out in the open and you get
yeah,
whatever you can out, and everything happens in an open environment, right? You
exactly. You
can't
got you got
control.
you may hear something on there, but it may be somebody standing 20 feet away from you talking.
Hmm. Yeah,
Some of
it, it's not a sterile environment,
no,
which I understand. Yeah.
you EVPs to get a Class A EVP, and no
Mm-hmm.
doubt that you capture something. You
Mm-hmm.
need what she referred to as a sterile environment. You need
Exactly.
complete quiet. You ask the question, nobody else is talking around you. You got no
Yeah.
outside noise. You need complete silence. And then if you get a third party in there, like you got three people with you, nobody's talking, one person asking questions,
Mm-hmm.
and you play it back, and there's a disembodied voice or a
Yeah.
response on there.
Mhm.
You have a Class A EVP, but if you're like,
Unless you have a sensitive who's with you, like me, you
yeah,
can hear it, exactly hear it, because they all come out as a whisper. They sound like,
you know,
"Hi, how are you?" They
yeah,
come out like that. Yeah.
they're all really,
So,
they're all, and
yeah.
I think that's just energy level, and maybe they're shouting, but
Mhm.
to us, because the energy level is just coming across as a whisper.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's so many different. I don't know because I've had investigations where you can clearly hear a conversation, two people having a it's
Mm.
like me, us three talking right now. You can clearly hear them conversating, but it's so muttered that you don't know exactly. You hear them, but you really don't know what it is. I mean, you
Mm.
don't understand what they're talking about.
And I mean, I'm like, we were at the Omen House in California, in Beverly Hills, and we were in downstairs, and Kelly and I both looked at each other because we heard a female voice,
Mhm.
and there was nobody else in this level of the house with us. Everybody
Mhm.
else way upstairs.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it was really quiet down there. We didn't hear any voices. We didn't hear any outside commotion until we heard this female voice. And it was like you said, it was muddled and it sounded disembodied.
Mhm.
So, and we both heard it with our ears. Like when I was doing the investigation at my son's house, when I played my EVP back to, or I first of all I played the video, and when I was doing the EVP session, and with my ears in the video, I can hear a voice saying yes. And then right after that, my son asked another question, and I heard it on the video, yes. But when we were actually in that environment, we didn't hear it at all with our own ears. I
Mhm.
heard it once I played it back in the video, and then when I played it back on the digital voice recorder, it was clearly two yeses. One sounded like yes, sir, and the other one was just yes, and both female voices.
It's really hard to hear spirits' voices on this. You're really into it. You sink into it, but yeah, for me, I can hear everything. For
Well,
I hear dead people. I see dead people. I hear dead people. Yep. But I mean, it you have to be a really in tune person to hear it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Sometimes they will talk to you, and sometimes they won't. Um, you could get a lot of information. I get a lot of information. That's about it. I get a lot of information from a dead person. I review them as they're still living because they are, but just in a different realm because they are here. They are still living. Um, you can get a lot of information if you're willing to sit down and really talk to them. Sometimes you get a full blown conversation from a spirit, which is really interesting, and it's fantastic what you can hear.
Yeah.
And if you
maybe,
stay long enough,
oh, go
if you
ahead.
if you stay long enough, you can even they'll even show you how their life was back then.
And and that's
Or
what I was saying, and that's the conversation we had last night. You know,
Hmm.
the world is going so fast.
Mhm.
Everything is evolving. Time is running so quick.
Mhm.
I can sit down on a bench
Mhm.
and be relaxing, and there can be a non-living individual sitting next to you holding a conversation with you.
Mhm.
You will never know.
No.
Mhm.
You will never know.
And
But
I
here's
mean,
the thing. To me, and me and Irene talk about this,
Mhm.
if you just tone it down a minute and listen, you might be able to catch that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you, once they tell you something, you get into it. You could even see what they wear, um, how their hair is, how what the clothes that they're wearing. Lots of it's usually I get lots from the 1800s. I get lots of those people,
I,
but yeah, it's really interesting what you can find out how they lived, what they ate, what they cooked, um, where they were at, the environment where they were at, what they did. It's just amazing what you can. But you see, you have to hang around me for a little while in order to find out. But yeah, it's just like mind-boggling. And Terry goes, "Wow!" Like this, and I go, "If only I could show you what I see, you'd be amazed, right?"
so I mean, I think about all kinds of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a bunch of different theories, but how do you know? And I'm not saying I believe this, it's just things
Mm-hmm.
that how do you know that what we're communicating isn't the living, just in an alternate universe or dimension? Like,
Uh, Somebody who's dying has a different has a different they speak in a different way. Person who has passed away has it's very milky. It's almost like white hue mixed into it, right? And they show up here more than down below, so they show the upper part of their body a lot. And it's like you're going into a different dimension when you see something. You're fixed. I have to be fixed when I see something, and when I'm in that realm, I can see a lot.
yeah,
It's like they're showing you the story of how they lived, what they are, and who they were. And sometimes you get a name, sometimes you get an age, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you get an environment where you can't see it, where you can't see where it is. It's just totally, it's mind-boggling what information I can, what information I can get, but I can't show you because it's coming through me in that particular time.
yeah. I just think about things because there's times when, like, if you're out here on the West Coast and you're communicating with somebody, or
Mm-hmm.
you think you know who you're communicating with,
Mm-hmm.
and then somebody back east is communicating with the same person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you know you're not just communicating with their energy at the point in time when they were here at this area, and then when you're doing it back east, you're actually communicating with their energy that lay left behind at the point in time they were back here at this particular time.
I could tune into that.
Yeah,
Did the
but
same.
you know what I'm saying? Like they say the ghost of Elvis roams the hallways up where
Mm-hmm.
his seat was at the Westgate here, the old
Mm-hmm.
International.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you can probably go to Graceland and talk and get some responses from Elvis too. So are you talking to Elvis here when he did his residency here, and then when you go to Graceland, are you talking to Elvis when he was physically at Graceland? You know what I
Well,
mean?
Well,
to
we
tell you
have
the truth, Elvis, I don't get anything from his grave because I don't think he's there.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying
I know.
it's just a theory. I'm not
yeah,
Yeah,
just
it is.
but
he may not be in his grave, but his definitely his energy's still in Graceland.
we
Yeah.
also have to understand that Elvis is not dead. He just went home.
Yeah.
I've never believed Elvis was dead. I've always
C-
believed
Yeah.
Elvis just went home, whether people believe that or not.
Mhm.
You know,
I
some of
don't
the
think
beers.
Michael Jackson is dead either, because when I viewed his casket, I could see inside too where they are, if they're in the casket or not. He's not dead. I know it. I know it, and I know the same thing. I feel the same thing from Elvis too.
You know, Elvis just went. Elvis just loaded up. He just went home.
Yeah,
There's
and
nothing I can say about that one.
and
No,
there's really weird people that says, I don't think Elvis is dead. I think he's still alive. I think he conjured his death. And yeah, because there's a lot of weird things there's a lot of weirdness that would happen when he died, that there was no there's no viewing of his death when he died. And the same thing with Michael Jackson. There's no viewing when it was hushed away what happened when he died too. So there's a lot of strange things that are happening that people do sometimes uh make their death phony, and they just come back in a different way.
Now,
what did he die from anyway? What did Elvis die from? Heart attack? A drug
They said
overdose?
he was overweight. He had
there's a lot of prescription medications
yeah,
there,
yeah.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
and they even charge the doctors with
Yeah,
who
they did.
prescribing
They
the
did.
medications for
Yep.
them.
Yep.
And the same thing
Wow.
with Michael Jackson. That
Yep.
doctor,
Yep. They said that he couldn't sleep,
yeah,
and the doctor prescribed him. He had a private doctor, and they prescribed him some medication, and that's how he died. But we don't know.
Prince, same way with Prince. Prince allegedly died over overdose. Too much
Mhm.
fentanyl.
medication.
I think Prince was fentanyl.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's weird how all these famous people have closed caskets at their funeral.
Hmm.
Now, sometimes it depends on who I'm having a conversation with.
Hmm.
Conspiracy might show its ugly head,
Hmm.
and with that, you started wondering about the possibilities of things happening. But
That's where a
everything.
touchy feely person comes in, where you can really see that they're dead. You can really hear that they're dead. But if you can't hear them, if you can't see them, if I can always tell. Okay, if you're dead, are you dead? You go, yes, I am dead. How'd you die? Blah blah blah. They'll tell me that. But if you get nothing, you go, oh, that's weird, right? Usually, the person really tells you, and they really tell you that they died. They really tell you what happened to them. But in those
But here's,
cases,
here's the thing: there's no. If you guys can tell me some hardcore evidence that these guys are dead, I will go with it. But there's really no hard, like you say, Elvis. He had a closed casket, right?
Well, there's
yeah,
no in the same instance. There's no hardcore evidence as these people
that
are still alive either.
yeah, yeah,
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
So I
yeah.
So
just, yeah.
I'm not into conspiracy theories, and personally, I don't know one way or the other if they're alive or dead. If I'm doing an investigation and I get some evidence that it's possibly one of them, then that's a whole nother world. But I'm not, because like you said, there's no evidence that they're actually dead. All we
Mm,
know is what we've been told, but
Yeah,
there's no evidence that any of them are still alive either.
exactly. That's,
So
that's like, and I've always telling people this, there is no evidence that 10, well, I can't say 10, 5 million Native Americans died. What proof do you got that 5 million Native Americans, that the American government killed off 5 million Native Americans, starting from the East Coast, working their way all the way to the West Coast?
I don't I don't think you can have a true number. I mean, I don't know. I don't think back then they had a true way to calculate how many were killed, but
mm.
there was a lot of Native Americans killed. There were a lot of Americans killed in the Indian,
But I
war. You
think
know what
the
I'm saying?
only true evidence that they have was the Trail of Tears.
Mhm.
The Trail of Tears is the only true evidence that
Yeah.
Native Americans died from certain diseases. But here's
Mhm.
the thing, that number is small compared to what was allegedly what numbers that was told. you know, and once again, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and sometimes I might take things a little bit far, but going back to what I'm thinking that there is no way, because if you look at the logic of certain things, if U.S. soldiers back in those days, can you imagine how far they away from the supply line to even do what they needed to do?
Mm.
Can you imagine the harsh winters that these guys went to?
Mm-hmm.
The Native Americans were more equipped for that than the soldiers.
Yeah, because they
So,
were already acclimated to their environment because that's what.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had the opportunity to leave this place, then why not? We all know that the Native Americans were in tune with nature, the sky gods, and so many other individuals that were allegedly the sky people. They were there were so many involved with so many different individuals that if they had the opportunity to leave, then why not? Now, those of us that choose that wanted to stay and go ahead and live out the remainder of our life here, they can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think a good portion on them just
Left
took off. I just
left
think they
Earth.
just took off.
Yeah. And they say that they will come back. When, who knows, but
Well, like I said, I'm not into conspiracy theories, but anything is possible.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Yep.
How do you feel about religion in the paranormal community?
Ah.
Does that play a big part in what we do and how we do it?
I mean, what do you mean about religion? I mean,
Well,
Religious organizations versus paranormal.
because there are so many different types of religion. Okay, let's go for this for instance. You have Christians that don't a true Christian don't believe in what we do.
Yeah, that's true.
But Christians are so hypocritical, they rather believe in one thing but not the other.
well,
You know,
if you're a hypocrite, then you're not a true Christian. That's the way I look at it.
because if you believe in the Holy Ghost, why come you can't believe in
Well, yeah,
they're
I
all
mean,
in spirit form?
I think, I mean, I'm not a real religious guy myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I do believe, everybody's got a guardian angel looking out for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I mean, for instance, in 2005, I was out in the middle of nowhere in my car doing 70 miles an hour, and I hit a horse that I didn't even see.
Mm.
God damn.
I mean, the car was totaled. The horse actually came in the car, bent my steering wheel, took the hood to a point right where my head was, came the roof was like this, flew over the top, broke my back window. I was covered in blood and horsehair from the horse.
Mm.
My hood was squished up. The whole front end of the car was done. The airbags didn't even deploy because he missed the sensors. It was a little bit above the sensors. Car caught on fire, and everybody goes, "We don't know how you survived."
Mm.
I bet you that horse didn't.
No, the horse was gone. I didn't even know what I hit. I never saw it. I didn't know what I hit until after I was in the car or in the ambulance. I heard somebody say he hit a horse.
Mm.
All I
Wow.
remember is I'm driving down the road. This car went flying by me at a high rate of speed. It's like 12:30 at night. I was coming home from work. Went flying by me at a high rate of speed. All I remember is the headlights disappearing, watching the headlights disappear, and then boom, big loud explosion. And I'm like, next thing I remember is my car's almost at a dead stop, slowly rolling to the side of the road.
Well.
So, I mean, how'd I survive it? Everybody, even the ambulance drivers said, we don't know how you survived this.
Mm.
So I believe it wasn't my time and something was looking out for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Christina,
Cynthia.
Cynthia, was it Christina or Cynthia? Well,
No,
Cynthia.
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 Cynthia is protecting you. That,
Yeah,
Cynthia may be my guardian angel.
you're right.
yeah,
Yep.
So I
but
mean,
it's
no,
crazy. It's crazy because I always thought, and I could be wrong. I always thought guardian angels would be a family member. I never thought it would be with someone that you don't know.
It can be that too. It could be someone that you don't know. It could be something that was sent to you to help you move on in life. It could be someone who was in the past who knew you, who who takes care of you now in this life. It could be any of those things, and I can't tell you, but I know that that's a probability too.
yeah, no, I agree. And like I said, I'm not a real religious guy, but
Hmm.
after the Jamestown thing, it freaked me out so bad. I went and tattooed Saint Michael on my arm,
Yep. Yep.
just maybe an added precaution when I go do these ghost hunts, because so
Mm, interesting.
that
Man,
that was done after the. Now I had that done after the Jamestown hotel. That's how bad that affected me.
wow. Man, how does your community feel about you and what you guys do? And
Oh,
and, and go ahead.
there's a huge community here, and I mean, I've never been judged for ghost hunting. Even people that don't believe, they're curious about it,
Hmm.
So like I said, I've never been judged for ghost hunting. Some people think it's funny, and they may not believe me, but
Hmm.
nobody's ever criticized me for it. I've never had any problem with anybody.
Mm,
Mm.
And I've never I never ask anybody to believe anything. All I can do is put the evidence out there of what I find,
Hmm.
and you have to judge it for yourself.
That's the
yeah,
way I like it. I like
yeah.
it that way. If I see something, if I feel something, if I know it's there, I'll show you. But it's up to you to believe me or not. If you don't believe me, that's fine too.
And
But if
it's
you,
oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't want to
yeah,
interrupt.
it's the same way that you feel. I agree with you there, 100%. And if you don't believe me, that's your problem, not mine. But it's not my business to tell you that if you don't believe me, to make you believe, because I'm not here to do that.
Yeah. Well, I've been
Yeah,
on
I
both
think
sides
that'd
of
be the hardest thing to do is, we as a paranormal community, that's not our job to try to convince people.
no.
You
No,
know,
no.
dude, I've had so many people that said so many terrible and horrible things to me that
Yeah,
I just brush it off my shoulder.
me
Yeah,
too.
I've never had that experience. I've never had anybody say, you know, anything negative toward me. I mean, social media, you get all kinds of clowns on there, you know, keyboard warriors want to
Yeah.
say nasty things, but
Well, they have nothing better to do. You know
you
that.
got you got to consider the source on that. You don't know
Well,
Yeah.
me, so
you mean
but
you never had anybody that came up and tell you God's gonna punish you for your heathenist ways?
no,
Yeah.
And I'm like,
my
I
my
had somebody tell me
what
that
the hell
too.
is that about? I don't even know what the hell a heathen is.
my dad is, he reads the Bible, he believes in God, he knows he's going to heaven. And when I talk about my ghost hunting stuff, he's actually kind of interested in it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I'll put on a ghost hunting show and we'll talk about it. And he never says anything negative about it. And he's a really
Hmm.
religious guy. Um, so I've never ran into anybody that just, they may not believe, but they're
Hmm.
not negative about not believing. They
Oh,
ask me what it
you're
is, and I,
lucky. You're lucky. You're lucky. Because I think Carrie and I have run into both. My country doesn't want to. They know it's there, but they don't want any interactions with it, which is fine. Because some spirits in my country can be jealous, can be dangerous, can be frightening. So you don't, and there's a lot of shadow figures here. Let me tell you that much. But um, they don't want to interact with it because I think they're more scared of it than they believe in it, but they're scared. So that's why my work is mostly in the United States and with Terry, because yeah, they say, yeah, we'll see ya. Like, and if I say anything, what I do, I'll be locked up in a loony bin because they think I'm cuckoo. What? I'm kind of cuckoo. Yeah, I like being cuckoo.
Well, here's
Uh,
the thing. I think they will lock all of us up. They will lock all. If they had surgery, they will lock up every paranormal investigator on this planet if
Well,
we
you know
present
what? That's what
evidence.
happened to them in the past. You know that because look at these insane asylums. People who are sensitive thought they were crazy, so they locked them up, and that's how they died.
Yeah, and most of them weren't even crazy.
No,
You see what you see, and you hear what you hear. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, but
people have to go by that, man, because people aren't crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong. You
I don't.
have that select few, but there are some in this world. Shit happens. You got to deal with it, and you got to realize that we are not the only ones
no,
that's on this planet. Things
no.
happen. We are. And this is a big planet. The universe is huge. The
Oh yeah.
possibility, the possibility of what if goes from this to like this.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, that's just like people saying that, they don't believe in UFOs. Okay, I've never seen a UFO. I can't tell you that I believe or don't believe, but I can tell you that I believe that out of this whole great big universe, we can't be the only life.
We're not. We're not the
No,
only one.
no,
And
and like I don't believe, and I don't not believe, but I believe that we're not the only life in this universe.
oh yeah.
You
And
know?
you know what? There's a lot of things that we don't know that we haven't touched base on yet that there is out there.
Oh
And
no,
yeah.
I
And
believe that wholeheartedly.
yeah. And then cities my city's extremely haunted, so yeah. You can walk around anywhere, you can see anything that happens, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to buy a ticket. There's a place outside my front door. Yep, yep.
Yeah. No,
it's
no.
it's just crazy, crazy, crazy. But
Like I said,
don't take it with take it with a grain of salt because you will find a lot out there that you just haven't seen yet, you haven't felt it yet. But yeah, there's a heck of a lot out there that you don't know.
there's no doubt.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
Bigfoot. I've
do
never
they?
seen Bigfoot. I
Huh?
mean, I've never seen Bigfoot, but a lot of people say that they believe in Bigfoot. Do I believe in Bigfoot? I can't say yes or no because I've never seen it or
Hmm.
experienced it.
Hmm.
And that's the same way I was with ghost hunting.
Hmm.
Before I had my own experiences, I
Hmm.
didn't believe it, and like I've been on both sides of that coin. I used to tell people, "Oh, I don't, like, oh, this happened." I don't. Nah, you're full of crap.
Yeah. Yep.
But until I started experiencing my own, then I look back and I say, "Man, I shouldn't have never said that to him."
Yeah.
And that's why I don't judge people anymore about what they
Yeah.
believe and what they don't believe.
Yeah.
If you believe in Bigfoot, that's fine. Maybe I
Hmm.
don't, but I'm not gonna tell you that what you believe is wrong
Hmm.
because I don't know. How
Yeah, you haven't seen it yet.
if I don't know, how can I tell you you're wrong?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the same thing with paranormal. All I can do is put this evidence that I collect out there, and people ask me, and I say, I can't explain it. Here's what I captured, and I can't explain what I captured. And I like to let people know that when I go investigating, I do my best to debunk everything.
Mm-hmm.
I want no doubt in my mind what I captured, there's no explanation for.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I can say, I've tried my best to debunk this. I can't. Here's the evidence.
And a lot of times you can't debunk it because it only happens once.
Yep.
And you see things and it only happens once. You feel it, it only happens once. You can't explain it. So yeah, let the public you see it. I showed you. You see it. Now what do you think?
Yeah. And, like me back in the day, people tell me they felt this or they saw this or this happened. I'd say, oh, nah, you're so full of crap. But I don't do that. I don't do that anymore because that was wrong of me to tell them that
Mhm.
because I don't know what they experienced. How can I
Talk-
tell somebody? How can I tell somebody they're full of crap when I don't know what they've experienced?
And I think a
Exactly.
lot of it to do with education of being in this field that you can't take anything for granted either because it happens. It happens for a reason. Sometimes it happens because they need your help. And it happens sometimes because they're telling you their story and they want you to tell their story. And that's where I think history books has this much truth. And there's a lot that happened back then. And and I think sometimes it has to be rewritten because there's a lot there that hasn't been told, and they just
Oh.
assume what happened.
I'm not. My big problem with history books is it's always a third party,
Yeah.
and like when you're in grade school, you sat in a circle,
Mm-hmm.
and the first person got something whispered in his ear.
Mm-hmm.
So he hit the object was to whisper
It
the
goes
same
around
thing in the other person's ear. It goes all the way around the circle to the last person,
the
and the
whole
last person says,
different.
"What did
Yeah.
they say?" And
Yeah.
it's nothing close to what was originally said.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the same thing with history.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's based on fact, but how much of it is really factual and not somebody else's interpretation or opinion on that fact? And
That's
it's
weird.
Places.
it's just like this monster, the Ed Gein story on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
That much of it is reality.
Mm-hmm.
There's the name
Mm-hmm.
and digging up the graves
Mm-hmm.
and the two women he murdered are the only factual things in that whole miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is made up.
Yeah.
But people watch it and think that's what he really did.
No.
Did he make lampshade out of skin? He did. Did he
Yeah.
actually practice necrophilia? No, he did not. There's no evidence that he practiced that. But now people watch this crap and they think that is history and they think that's what really happened.
But it didn't.
It
No.
didn't. That is so it's the whole show is fiction mixed with a little bit of nonfiction. But this is
Yeah.
the same thing about our history books and our
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true. That's why I get a lot of spirits come to me and tell me, "Can you please tell exactly what happened?" And that's where a podcast comes in. That's where live investigations come in. You can tell the truth. You can tell what happened to them, and so they can rest in peace.
yeah.
You know, could society today could they handle the truth about history? If you had a time machine and you went back and you saw everything that went down, every major event, every small event, and you went back and corrected it and you presented it out here to the world for the world to see, do you think they would believe that?
I mean, reality is probably far worse than the perception of reality. Does that make sense?
He froze.
What's that?
There's something going on in this. There's something going on here. Hold on. He froze.
Oh,
No, somebody's messing
Yeah,
with
he
your
froze.
phone.
As soon as you talk about that subject, it froze. It froze. You know that, right?
yeah.
But the only problem with
Hold
me in
on.
history is let's not repeat itself. History cannot repeat.
But here we are. It's repeating itself. It
But
always,
it can.
You know what I'm saying?
and
You
I mean,
And
and in
Yeah.
reality, man is the most dangerous creature on earth.
yeah,
It
and that's
is.
probably
It is.
why
Yeah.
Animals kill for survival and food. Man kills for pleasure.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and that's the reason that's the reason why I think that non-humans are considered us stupid because we are not at that level yet where we stop doing stupid shit.
We
As long as
keep
we're
on
doing
doing
stupid shit,
we
then
haven't
they're
we
gonna
haven't
look at
learned.
us as man, you just a you just an ant in this universe. You guys ain't
Yeah.
even evolved yet. You guys are
Yeah.
still killing each other over stupid stuff.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You guys are still harming each other over
Hmm.
stupid stuff.
Hmm.
When is all this gonna stop? You know, greed.
It's never gonna stop,
It's
unfortunately.
it's never gonna stop. You
No.
know, and I don't think that outside entities or if they do come here, they're gonna come here to dominate, to destroy, because they think us as inferior. I mean, they really don't care about us.
But
No,
then we don't care about them either. You know that, right?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't
All I know
know.
is the human race is littered
Solo
with
form.
littered with evil.
You know how many times have this planet has circled itself? So
Well,
many
because
times.
we keep
You
on
know,
screwing. Why?
so many times it circled itself. It started with one thing, and they said, "Well, this ain't gonna work." So would they wipe this society out? Then they start all over again. Then they, hey, nope, they will eventually,
Right back to the same old crap.
yeah,
Yeah.
back to the same old crap. And I
Yeah.
don't think, at this point, I don't think there's no, I don't think there's no coming back if it was to happen again for the human race.
Yeah. We kept on messing it up. That's why.
You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
it's just getting worse with modern technology too. I
And I
mean,
think technology has a big part to play because when I
Oh,
was growing up in the 70s, 80s, things were so simple.
but you
oh
see, it is not. It's just there as a tool. It depends on how you use it, right?
no,
Like,
the thing with technology is like what we're doing right now, right? It takes away any human interaction.
yeah,
Like
but
everybody's meeting everybody on dating sites now. No,
yeah.
I mean when I was a young man in the 80s, when I was 21 and 85, I actually had to physically go out
Hmm.
and meet people, you know.
Hmm.
Yep.
Now they're doing it on dating sites and stuff. There's no more human contact.
Nope.
Well,
And
well,
No,
but
there you're absolutely right. There's not. I remember I used to hang out at the mall.
that they all.
Used to hang out at the damn skating ring. Now, I don't even think there are any skating rings around here.
yeah, we got one in Vegas that's still operating. We even got a
Every,
drive-in movie theater right down the road that's still
We
operating.
see,
should.
everything is so social. I mean, non-social that
No,
it's crazy. Everything's on an app these days, dude. I'm not gonna let an app determine if me and another female is compatible. If I don't meet you, see you, hear you, feel you, touch you, then I'm not gonna know if you're compatible with me.
like in high school. My thing in high school was we went out to Modesto and we cruised McHenry Avenue on Friday and Saturday nights, and that's how we interacted, and that's how we met people. That's how we met girls. That's how, like when I was a young adult, we had to actually go out and like dancing and to meet
Go to shopping
people,
mall. That's what we did too.
shopping malls. Yeah, we actually had to go out and have human contact to actually interact and meet people. We
Mhm,
didn't meet girls on the internet. We didn't do dating sites.
mhm,
You know what I mean? And so I think technology is a double-edged sword. I think it's taking away any it's hard to explain like human interaction. And
mhm.
Yeah,
that's
hell,
why
I had to go.
and that's
I had to go to the payphone to call a girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's why you got people on social media saying just being nasty all the time because these are the same people back in the day that would have got their butts kicked for being the way they are in person.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
But now
Yeah.
they feel emboldened to sit here and just talk a whole bunch of nonsense and crap.
True.
But back in the day, you would have got yourself hurt. We didn't kill people, but you would have got
You would have got your ass whooped.
you would have
You
got your
definitely
ass
would have
handed to you. Yeah. But
got attitude adjustment.
now we've emboldened a generation to be keyboard warriors and just talk a whole bunch of nasty crap. And it's even in our politics now. There's no
Yeah.
civil in politics, no matter what side you're on. Everybody hates everybody because of what your politics.
Yeah. I've
Yep.
lost friends who didn't like my point of view, but then if you don't like me, bye bye. See ya. Like
But
I'd ra-
that's not the way I am. I mean, my idea of politics, okay, I may not understand their point of view.
Mhm.
I'm not going to be nasty to them about their point of view. I'll tell them my point of view, but I have
Yeah.
friends who are on the opposite side than what I'm on.
Yeah.
But I don't judge them. I judge them on my friendship with them. I don't judge them by their politics. I may
Yeah.
not understand their politics and I may not agree with their politics, but that doesn't define them as a human being and that doesn't define them as my friend.
But a lot of people don't think that way, right?
I know it's because of the media, it's because of technology that
Mhm.
we're being programmed to hate each other for what our beliefs are.
Yeah.
All day long on no matter what source you get your information from, we're being programmed to hate each other.
Yeah.
And
I
it's all social engineering and people don't understand that.
yeah.
Yep. And
You're
hate is
taking the
such a
whole
powerful word. I really don't like using that word.
Too.
You know what I'm
what
saying?
word.
Hate. I don't like using that word hate.
It's
But
a nasty word.
that's where we're at. This is what technology has done to us.
Yeah.
We're so divided as a country right now because of what we're being programmed to believe that we may not survive.
No. No.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You're,
We're a nation so far divided that everybody hates everybody because of what their politics are.
Yeah.
And it's nonsense.
That's why I live on this side of the city. That's why I live on this. That's why I live on this side of the Pacific Ocean, because I don't have to deal with that. But in my country, you see, technology is only a tool. They don't use it for anything else. They use it for to help people. They don't use it to hurt people. So they're because we have open journalists here. The government can't control it. They know that. So it's like you believe whatever you want to believe, and don't tell anybody else don't tell anybody else that you can't believe what you want to believe. So it's okay. But yeah, that's why I live here, and you guys live there.
I mean, it's no matter where you live anymore, though. It
Yeah.
really is. I mean,
it's
you
like
know,
a cancer. It spreads.
no, it is. It's spreading. It's like, and like I say, I want to judge people for who they are. I
Yeah,
don't want to judge people for what they believe.
yeah, exactly, exactly,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? But that's
Yeah.
not what we're being programmed with all this social media,
Mm.
mainstream media. We're being programmed to hate each other.
Yep.
More,
I totally
there-
agree with
more,
you on that.
more
It's
there than here, actually, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. So
yep. Well, man, I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions, man. I'm gonna get you out of here, brother.
have at
Um,
it, my friend.
you know, as much as we see the BS that's going on, political, non-political ways wise, and all that stuff, you know, how would you, if you had the opportunity to change the paranormal community for the better, what would you implement and what would you change about it?
What would I change about it?
Mm-hmm.
I would try to do my best, which I try to do already. Just
Hmm.
try to change people's perception of it from what they get from these TV shows that we watch. You know what I mean?
Right?
Because not all ghost hunting is what not all the paranormal investigating and paranormal is what you see on these shows. It's far,
Exactly,
it's far deeper than that.
exactly.
And people are getting people. It's just like anything else. People are getting all their information from these shows and not experiencing it for themselves. So I think I would try to change anybody that's a skeptic in it. Go out and do it for yourself. Go out
Hmm.
and do it yourself. Go out with somebody who does it and see what happens and see if somebody can at least convince you differently than what you're seeing on these shows. Because not everything is, oh my God, did you feel that? That's not what ghost hunting is about.
Yep.
Right.
Ghost hunting is trying to communicate and get experiencing things, and trying to gather evidence and trying to debunk the evidence that you get. You know, like me, I'll tell, like when I do my investigation, Kelly gets excited, but that's who Kelly is. Me, I don't, very rarely do I get like, oh my God, did you feel this? I'll go, yeah, something felt like something crawled on me. It felt like I walked into spider webs when I wasn't walking at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't jump or get overly excited, and people probably think, well, you're not really feeling it, you're faking it, because I'm not doing like they do on these shows.
Mm-hmm.
But
Exactly.
I would just try to tell anybody who's a skeptic, because this is how I did it. I went out and experienced it for myself.
And a lot of times you have to experience it in order to believe in it too.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's not can climb out of a hat, or it's not something that you can that you can pull out of the sky. It's there, you know.
And
always,
everything you get, all the evidence you get is going to be unexplainable.
Yep.
But if it's unexplainable, it's got to be something.
Yeah.
Once you get a piece of evidence and you can explain that evidence as far as, okay, this is what it was, then it's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything you get that you can't explain and you've tried to do your best to explain it, is something. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah. Where would you like to go on your paranormal bucket list?
My bucket list, my all-time
sir.
number one, my all-time number one is the battlefield of Gettysburg. That's my number one. I always wanted to go there.
International. Where would you like to go international?
My grandfather's from Greece, so I'd like to go to Greece and just do some investigating there.
Well, I know what's in Greece, man. All those nude beaches over there. I don't know if you're going to do any investigating.
I'd definitely investigate that. That's my number one investigation point.
Look out the beaches.
Gary.
Hey,
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, because if I went to Greece, that'd be the first place I go. You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
There's no ifs and buts about it. I'm a man. I'm gonna go. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Any closing remarks before I get you out of here, bro?
No, I mean, if anybody wants to experience something for themselves and they're not sure about it and you're in the Las Vegas area, feel free to contact me. I'll take you out with me and we can see what we can do to change your mind about the paranormal.
There you go. All right, man. Hey, you guys are ever in Sin City? Check out Las Vegas Soul Searchers, man. They are on Facebook. They're real easy to contact. Man, they usually get back to you pretty soon.
Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. You can find me on any one of those.
There you go. So, hey, reach out to these guys, man. If you're ever in Sin City, if you ever want to get an investigation, go check them out, man. Well, dude, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. I really enjoyed it. And, man, I would love to do this again. Hopefully, we'll have the other 3 members with you.
Well, let's plan it. I got to find a bigger venue because right now I'm sitting in my bedroom.
It's all right. I'm in my closet. You can't get no smaller than this.
I just don't have enough room for the 2 other people. We got to find a bigger area.
Get a closet.
I have a big walk-in closet.
And, hey, my walk-in closet is my podcast area.
Nice. But I enjoyed myself, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to get on here. Even though we ventured out from the paranormal, it was a very interesting discussion.
Well, I think everything we discussed is somehow, some way affiliated with one another.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, whether it's religion, politics, because
social media,
because I think all that's connected.
Yeah. I kind of think so too.
You know,
Yeah.
because without social media, we wouldn't be able to get our evidence set.
No.
You know, without politics, you know, especially the Catholic Church,
Hmm.
we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If the Catholic Church didn't do what they did, people like me and you wouldn't exist.
And me.
And yeah, and Irene. So
But
people, you know, so
uh, Catholics in Japan don't like me doing what I'm doing. I don't know why. They say you shouldn't be doing that. I said, why not? Because it's a sin. I go, okay, so I'm sinful. Okay, so is everyone else. So
but here's the thing: everything's a sin these days.
No.
yeah,
Everything in life is sinful.
If
yeah.
I
Really.
drink too much water, it's a sin. If I drink a
I go,
beer,
I,
it's a sin.
I go down and put $20 in a slot machine. That's sinful.
If I
Yeah.
go sit on the toilet for 20 minutes, that's a sin.
Yeah. If I go out to a buffet and overeat, that's a sin.
That's a
One of the
sin.
seven deadly sins, actually.
You
Yeah.
cannot overeat. Do not indulge. Do not in. What does it say? Do not
Gluttony.
indulge yourself.
Gluttony. Yeah.
But yeah.
If that's
Yeah,
the
but
case,
if you look at the Jamestown video and you look at this video, I'm 130, almost 130 pounds lighter than I was in the Jamestown video. So I don't overeat anymore.
wow.
I got up to 324 pounds.
Ooh, that's a big boy.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here in front of you at about $1.95 right now.
Oh, that's cool, dude. Congratulations. That's really cool. Hard work and dedication pays off.
Yeah.
So
And we all work hard. You know, after the show, if you can stick around, I have to tell you about a place that you should visit.
okay.
Okay. Carlos said, "Don't marry anyone off the streets of Las Vegas."
I'm
Carlos,
already married. I'm already married and I love my wife. She's a sweetheart. She takes care of me and she's back home right now visiting her family.
I love my wife too, but I found out she's a flirt.
well,
my-
Dad, she's right here. I
No, I'm
talked to his, I
I-
talked to his wife.
I married me a dedicated Thai girl.
All right,
This is
well,
my-
ain't nothing wrong with that.
This is my third wife, and this is my favorite out of all of them.
Well, I hope it's your last. Is it your
Oh,
last?
it will. She's
You know what? You should visit Thailand. There's a lot of weird places there.
yeah. Well, I wanted to go, but I can't because my 84-year-old father lives with me, and I
Mhm.
can't leave him here by himself. So I stay home and I take care of him.
Yeah.
Well, hell, I'll make a deal with you. I'll take care of Dad, and you go do your thing. I'm not saying Dad is not going to be the same when you get back. Hey, me and Dad
Maybe-
going to be out in the streets. We going to
Maybe
be in the
it
streets
becomes
doing
better.
our business thing.
Stop over time and you can come and visit me because I'm on the way. I'm in the same area, right?
Me and Dad gonna be doing that thing. You know what I'm saying? He gonna put a
I
Honey
hear you.
Stacey Adams. His hat.
Don't-
Yeah,
Harry.
man, we gonna be doing that thing. So hey, you go handle your business, and I'll take care. Hey,
Tim,
hey, me and the OG will be all right. He'll come back to hey, trust me, he'll come back. Hey, you see that movie Grumpy Your Old Men?
Yep.
Yep, he's gonna be just like what's his name?
Or Walter Matthau.
Yeah, trying to date that younger woman. Yeah. He's gonna be just like that. All right. Well, hey, man, like I say, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. I will
Yeah.
be reaching out to you. What is this? October, at the middle of January to see how you're doing and see if anything has changed. I do that, stay in contact with people that come on the show just to see how they're doing, if anything changed and
I'll be
stuff like
62
that.
years old in January. I just
You
filed
did
for
how
my
old?
62.
Oh,
Wow, I wouldn't tell. I would think you 42.
No,
We're-
I
we're
just filed for my Social Security.
we're both
You
the same age,
lucky.
but yeah, we're the same age.
Yeah.
You are so lucky, dude. You get to file your benefits.
I know.
Rather get them now, because when I turn 65 or 62, they may not even be around.
You'll get grandfathered in, and I don't know how they can tell you they're not, because I pulled up my statement from Social Security, and between my contribution since I've been working and my employees' forced contribution to me while I
Mhm.
was working, I've got over 200 grand invested in Social Security. So
Yeah, but they're gonna limit
I
it to
don't need
you.
any politician to tell me it's an entitlement program, because it's not an entitlement program. That's money that was invested on my behalf, my money and my employer's money on my behalf. So it's not an entitlement.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. But they wanna, instead of giving it all to you at one time, they wanna allocate it a little bit here, a little bit there. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even account for
Mhm.
the cost of living these days. You know what I'm
Um, as
saying?
long as I get a little something, something of my money back, I'm happy.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
I
gonna
feel you. I feel you on that. Well, if you get that, once you get it, go ahead and send me some.
complain.
I get Social Security in 4 years now.
I wish I can get it. I guess I'm the young one of the bunch.
Well, I've been lucky because I got the VA taking care of all my healthcare needs right now.
Oh,
Mm.
you're a veteran?
Oh yeah, I've spent 4.5 years in the Marine Corps.
Well, hey, I'm about to, hey, give me all that money you got, I want back.
I didn't make a lot of money in the Marine Corps, I here to tell you.
That's okay. Give me back a certain percentage. I'll take it.
Mhm.
I think when I was a corporal over 3 years, my base pay was 1,010 a month.
So that's basically $500 every 2 weeks.
Mm.
After tax, it was just under right around $430 every 2 weeks.
But you were living on base, off base.
At the time, I was living on base.
Oh, you got it made.
Yeah, because when you get married and you move out of town and you live in town, they give you money for, um, they give you extra money for living, for
Mhm.
house, and they give you extra money for food because you're no longer eating on base.
So what? That's an additional fifteen
Yeah,
hundred dollars.
so my when I was taking home $430 every 2 weeks, I got married my last year in, and then I
Mhm.
moved out in town because I was getting ready to have my first son. It went from like it doubled. It went from every 2 weeks 430 to like 860 every.
Mm.
It went from it went from basically 850 to 1600, almost 1700 a month.
And you're and living off, were you living on base or living off base?
After I got married, I was living off base. They didn't have the base housing was full.
Base
So
housing was filled.
they give you a per diem to live off base.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
Would
then they
you
give you
recommend?
another per diem because you're not eating at the chow halls anymore. So they give you
Mhm.
extra money for food.
Oh hell. Well, I know if the food that if I know the food at the chow house is better than what I'm getting at home, then I'm gonna eat over there.
I don't know, the Marine Corps. If I was in the Air Force, I'd probably eat on base because the Air Force, their chow hall's like 5 stars compared to the Marine Corps chow hall, which is a single star.
Well, the Navy too. Man, I've seen how the Navy eats. Them
Yeah.
boys eat good.
I don't know about nowadays, but I know when I was in the Marine Corps, yeah, it wasn't that good.
In
Well,
August,
they had to keep
in,
you boys fit. I never
in,
seen
Au-
a fat Marine.
in
Yeah.
August, the Marines open up their base here in Japan, right? And so does the Navy. But the Marines have really good food. If you ever get to, if you ever get to go there,
Where's
um,
this?
in Japan, in Tokyo, and
Oh,
they have a base. It's called Zama. Is the
yeah,
base
Camp
name?
Zalma. That's an army base. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
did. I spent a year in Japan. I partied on Camp Zalma back in the day.
but with in August they're open, and the people can go on base and see how they live
Okay.
and eat the food, and it's really good. To tell you the-
Because I was stationed not far from there. I was on Camp Fuji.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that
I
haunted. You know that, right?
probably. I even got to climb to the top of Mount Fuji.
That's haunted too. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't into ghost hunting back then. If I was, I would have brought some equipment with me.
Yeah,
We're
that's-
talking.
I heard
We're talking back in the Stone Age, like '87.
Have you ever been to Okinawa?
I did. My main unit was on Okinawa. I got TAD to mainland. I was on Camp Schwab.
Oh, it's really haunted. Let's put it that way. Okinawa's the most haunted island in all
Yeah,
of Japan.
I was on
It's
Camp Schwab for 2 weeks, and then they needed a couple people to go TAD to
Mhm.
Camp Fuji, and I go, you're going to get me out of here and send me to mainland? Sign me up.
Yeah, it's really haunted in Okinawa.
Yeah.
It's the most haunted island in all of Japan, and they're still finding bodies, bones of servicemen in certain little islands. Ogasawa Island is one place that they're finding bodies on the beach still, and they're you can't get there by boat. It takes 1.5 days to get there to Ogasawa Island from Tokyo.
Okay.
But they're helicoptering and bones and getting them matched properly so they can give them back to the families now, and they still do that even to this day.
Thank God for DNA, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, we didn't have DNA, boy. We'd be hey. I don't talk about that. I watch
tell
a
you
lot
what,
of DNA shows, man.
It's
A lot of
making
fathers be fathers
it's-
to kids that aren't
it's
there.
making being a criminal harder.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right, man. Hey, appreciate it again, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Stick
I
around.
look forward to it.
Yeah, if
Stick
you want
around.
to stick around after the show, Irene would like to talk to you about, I don't know, but good luck.
All right.
Hey, I'm not that bad.